Have you ever wondered about the cost of living crisis in the UK? This isn't just a casual question, but rather an issue that has become the harsh reality for many residents of the United Kingdom today. The cost of living as it stands is a complex issue, a multifaceted conundrum that is causing distress to countless individuals and families across the nation. It's a crisis, no less, one that has been steadily brewing over the years and has now reached a boiling point. But what exactly is this crisis? What causes it, and why has it become such a pressing concern? At its core, the cost of living crisis in the UK is a result of several interlinking factors, each contributing its own weight to the scale. One of the most significant factors is inflation. As the cost of goods and services increases, the average consumer finds their purchasing power dwindling, leading to a strain on their ability to afford basic necessities. Further compounding the issue is wage stagnation. Despite inflation driving prices up, wages have largely remained stagnant, failing to keep pace with the rising cost of living. This disparity between income and expenditure creates an unsustainable financial situation for many. Add to this the escalating energy prices. With every passing year, the cost of gas and electricity in the UK has surged, putting a further strain on households already struggling to make ends meet. But the cost of living crisis isn't just about the numbers. It's about the people grappling with these challenges every single day. It's about the single mother who has to choose between heating her home and feeding her children. It's about the elderly couple who must decide between medicine and groceries. Each of these stories paints a vivid picture of a crisis that isn't just economic, but profoundly human, touching every aspect of life for those affected. Indeed, the cost of living crisis in the UK is a complex issue with a multitude of contributing factors. But it's also a call to action, a rallying cry for change. Because understanding the crisis is the first step in finding a solution. But what does this crisis mean for the average UK resident? Imagine waking up every day only to find that the cost of your morning cup of tea has increased. This is the reality for many in the United Kingdom today as the cost of living crisis continues to impact everyday life. Be it the weekly grocery shopping or monthly utility bills, rising prices are becoming a significant concern. A simple journey to the supermarket now involves making tough decisions, choosing between essential items, and often having to leave some behind. Utility bills are another area where the pinch is being felt. Heating homes and keeping the lights on has become more expensive, adding to the stress and anxiety of managing household finances. This crisis isn't just about numbers on a bill or a receipt, it's about the quality of life. It's about parents struggling to provide for their children, about elderly residents forced to choose between heating and eating, and about the growing anxiety and uncertainty that is becoming a constant companion for many. In essence, this crisis is changing the rhythm of everyday life, forcing residents to adapt and often sacrifice. It's an unsettling situation that brings the harsh reality of economic instability into sharp focus. As we can see, the cost of living crisis is having a profound impact on the everyday lives of UK residents. Let's take a look at a real-life example. Consider the situation of a single mother struggling to put food on the table. Each day brings a fresh battle for survival. With rising costs and stagnant wages, she finds herself in the throes of the cost of living crisis. She's not alone. There are countless others like her, juggling multiple jobs, skipping meals and making sacrifices just to get by. Imagine the strain of making a pound stretch as far as possible, the constant worry of how to keep the lights on, the heat running and the fridge stocked. Every decision is a trade-off. Do you buy new school shoes for your child, or do you make sure there's dinner on the table? This is no way to live. Yet it's the reality for too many single mothers in the UK. Their strength and resilience are admirable, but it's a struggle that no one should have to face alone. It's a stark reminder that behind every statistic, every headline about the cost of living crisis, there's a human story of endurance and hope. This story is just one example of how the cost of living crisis is affecting individuals and families across the UK. So, what does the future hold for the cost of living in the UK? As we cast our gaze forward, we find ourselves in a realm of uncertainty. The government has promised measures to alleviate the crisis, including potential policy changes and financial support schemes. But the road to recovery is steep and the journey long. If the situation continues to worsen, we might see an even greater strain on the already stretched resources of families across the nation. The knock-on effects could ripple through society, affecting everything from education to healthcare, job opportunities to mental health. There are also fears that the crisis could deepen the divide between the haves and the have-nots, exacerbating social inequality in a country known for its resilience and unity. The long-term effects are difficult to predict, yet the urgency of the situation is undeniable. In the midst of these challenges, the spirit of the British people remains unbroken. Every day, stories of resilience and community support echo across the nation, reminding us of our collective strength in the face of adversity. Only time will tell how the UK will navigate this cost of living crisis. But one thing is clear, its impact is being felt by residents across the country.